Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure. Beef loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host. He's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom. Terezi E.
Thank you, Cornsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, booze, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym, or is not ready to play an ad, you drink.
Yes.
And if I talk music or Star Wars, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink with a tip of $1.08 or more.
Get
Or
it
buy
up,
a
baby.
fucking t-shirt, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking?
God, that was smooth, Terezi. That was smooth.
My Sock Summer, I'm going to ask you first. What
Listen.
are you drinking?
Didn't have the time that I usually have to make up the drink, so I don't have a backup baklava old fashions. Big as your head, wild turkey bottle. That's what we're going
It's not
for.
done
'cause
yet?
It's right here. Fuck no, man. This thing is ginormous.
He's nursing it. I told
man.
you he's nursing it, Trees.
Look
He's
at
not
this.
nursing it.
Chin to chin to the bottom. It's bigger than my head. I have a big head. You know
100%.
that.
He still has that bottle going by opening day.
Yeah,
No,
easy.
100%.
It'll be gone by opening
Easy.
day.
Yeah.
Easy. If probably
We work too much. We do
probably
too
first-
many of these.
first Sunday soak. He's coming over going like, oh, I'm almost done with that bottle. You know,
I say first week of
been
the
going
tourney.
hard. First
First
week of
week-
the tourney?
First week of the tourney, it is
That's-
gone. It's way gone.
That's
Right,
still
first
a really long time.
You should be done with that by Christmas. All right, let's
I'm
get
sure well,
let's
probably-
get moving. Okay.
Thanksgiving.
this is
Our
the
alcoholism should not take off the winter. Okay, you can stay an alcoholic all year round, son of a bitch.
I don't know, man. I got those shrooms. They're a little bit easier.
14 days till Thanksgiving, and that bottle better be fucking gone. Beef, what are you drinking tonight?
Real quickly, Quincy says, add, I didn't have time to the drink list. Yes,
No
absolutely.
shit.
Add that in there for MSS. He didn't have time. He's out of
I'm actually rewriting it right now.
Boys, tonight, I've decided I'm going to finish what's left of my bottle of Southern Comfort. And you guys yelled at me last time. You said, well, where's the lime? You don't have
Put some
lime.
lime in there.
Bro, you know what? I got fresh squeezed lime. I got the limes. And not only that, I'm going to squeeze them while we're on air. Look, I got this guy right here.
right.
I squeezed up the first two half of lime. Man, this shit tastes so good without that lime in there. You guys are
Easy.
right. This is how you got to do it.
How bad do you want that to squirt in his fucking eye?
Oh man, like I want it to be a disaster. I'll be so happy if it's a disaster. That's all I can say.
This is
Also,
bitch.
MSS is Beef Loaf keeping Cermak Produce in business by
Yes.
just his lime purchases?
I mean, when I
wrong
was
with that?
there, I alerted
I love
him 20 for $1, or it was 20 for $2, or was it 20 for I think it was 20 for $2.
It's usually
Like,
10 for $1, so 20 for $2 makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean that was insane. But that's what they had up there. I'm like, who the fuck is buying 20 limes at a time? Now I know this guy.
That's only a couple limes in there. That's not that many limes. But the commenters are up my ass already. Baloney
Well,
says,
who doesn't
Beef
wanna
Loaf
be
making
up there?
menudo? What the fuck? And then Tadahito. Oh, I forgot about Tadahito. He says Soko can make you squeeze something else later. Yeah, he had some he had some Soko problems
Hookers.
in the past.
Hookers, right?
Little issues there.
Talking about hookers?
Treasy, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
So I was like, man, I want to polish off even more whiskey tonight. That's I'm almost out of that Star Wars helmet there. So I gotta conserve that. So I was stopped at Benny's and I was just like picking some stuff up, and I was like, I need something to risk a hangover. Like that's where I need. I need to be on. I need to be on something. So I
Feel like you're alive.
I found a pre-mixed jalapeno margarita.
Oh no.
How could this possibly go wrong?
You make me jealous over here. I wish I had that in reserve for when I'm done with the
Hangover.
Soko. That sounds amazing.
The
Hangover
heartburn
and inflamed
is
asshole.
moments away.
Did it start bubbling up when you just looked at the bottle? Like you're like, oh no, I got a little,
I took
little
what
agita,
sugar
my
is in
friend.
that?
I took one drink and I ate 100 Tums. So I could just be.
Oh. How
you
much
got
sugar
some
is in that,
tahini, or you
Chorizo?
got some something to salt the rim, or nothing?
I don't.
None of that,
Beef.
huh?
I don't. You know what? I didn't have time.
There's a lot of nap time going on, you know.
But I just
guys
didn't
can
even
go
think
fuck
of it.
yourself.
I didn't.
You know
I
that?
really didn't even think of it. I was thinking of like, what is the
Kind of
simplest?
pissing me off.
What is the simplest way to drink this? And I just thought, I'm just gonna pour this right into a glass. I don't even have ice.
Oh my god! No ice.
Straight up.
You need
Warm,
some ice.
straight in the hole. Just go.
It's
Is
not
it
warm.
It's not
It's
warm.
not warm.
Oh.
I put it in the fridge. So it's
MSS warm would have been like, man, that would have been.
chill.
You are a man. Let's do this.
It's
By
chill.
the end of it, it's going to be like, Edward 40 hands. It's going to be warm as piss, and you're going to be trying to drink it, and it's going to
fine.
taste
It's
like
a-
burning.
That's okay.
It's
It's
going
nice
to
for
taste
you.
like burning.
It's nice and cool in this room. It's
Oh,
He's
dude.
gonna be shirtless by the end of the show. I'm just staying cool, guys. Don't worry.
Tie around-
Never mind, my chi-chis are out. It's fine.
we got a drink, by the way. So we
We have a
let's,
couple.
that.
We got two
Let's
up
get
in
this.
there.
All right, I'll get that.
Oh,
that one
sweet.
next. Our guy CJ says, "Cheers to everyone's massive hangover tomorrow." Drink.
Bless you, CJ.
This is delicious, by the way. Oh, our
It's
guy John
delicious.
Nava. Oh, he's in there
John.
first. I love it, John.
Oh, yes.
Cheers, gents. That new Nashville sock shirt looks fresh. Yeah, hell yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
the
John.
blue
Appreciate
is
you,
the
my
blue
friend.
is tits, is the kid said in the 90s. It's very nice. Go over to our website, 108.ing/merch, and then you can go right in there and get to the Nashville socks. It's on the pre-order.
Ooh, that's lovely.
It's only $24.99. I mean, that's cheap as hell, man.
Yeah, I mean,
People
come on.
are putting shirts out now for $32.99. That's how much it costs for us to
Not us.
ship
That's,
this
that's
shirt
too
to you.
much.
Not
No,
us.
No.
Fuck
Not
no.
us.
We do it a lot cheaper than that, baby.
Lot
But
cheaper.
speaking of beautiful things, MSS,
Doing-
how are you doing tonight?
Man, thank you. Thank you for giving me that comment that I needed today.
I
Get
felt
me
you
over the
needed
hump. It was a trying afternoon. I usually pick up. I'll just get into it just real quick, because the father that is the father of the two girls that carpool with us is out of town, right? So we got going, and I went down to go pick everybody up. I get in the car and get them in the car. We're driving home. I got two, because only on Thursdays one of the girls goes and does Girl Scouts, not both of them. So we roll up, right? We're rolling up. We're almost home. We're almost on Pershing. And I get a phone call. Phone call you always dread when you're running carpool.
No.
And it is, hey, did so-and-so tell you that so-and-so isn't doing Girl Scouts today and you needed to drive her home? And I was like, they did not. And I was like, he's like, oh, where are you? Because I'll send her down to go get him. And I was like, no. I will turn right back around and go down there. And I did it. I drove back to pick up the other girl. And when I got there, she was like, why did you forget me? And I was like, I didn't even know I was supposed to get you. She's like, did my mom tell you that you were supposed to pick me up? And I was like, no. And she's like, I told her she was supposed to tell you. And I was like, yes, we're on the same page. So thank you. So I apologize for that. But that wasn't the worst part. So before I knew I forgot a kid, and it just made me look really bad in the whole carpool thing, I was like, with the girls, and my little one is in the back, and she is so cute and she's so nice, and she is just loving on Frankie. Her and Frankie are like inseparable, right?
Nice.
So she's just been giving me a lot of vibes, and I'm just way too tired right now with the dog to ever get a dog, because I'm like, I have so much guilt leaving him home alone. So I'm like, I got to be with him. And then it's like, I feel guilty when I don't walk him. So I'm like, I got to walk him. I got all these problems going on. But anyway, she's in the back seat and she goes, Dad, we fucking, she didn't say fucking. She's like, hey, Dad, can we listen to that one song? And I was like, what one song? And she goes, it goes like this. She's like, last Christmas, you gave me a heart. I was like, oh, fuck. I go, man, it is mid-November, and she's already requesting for us to listen to fucking Christmas songs. And I'm like, because you've been being so awesome and have provided me with a lot of like memories that I will try to remember during your teen years when I want to throw you out a window, I will put on this song for you. So while I'm trying to put on the song on my phone, it's not working. So, I'll get there.
Tadito says, now sing it like Aaron Neville.
Not enough wild turkey yet. But so I'm trying to get on my phone. My phone's not working. It's not going. It's not working. So I'm like, I know that there's a station on on the radio that plays only Christmas songs. I put on that Christmas fucking songs, and they started singing every goddamn Christmas song. So we are midway through November. It's the 14th of November.
Yes,
and
sir.
there's already listening to Christmas songs on the way home with now 3 girls, because I went and picked the other one up. And then my phone actually started working again, and we listened to Wham! Last Christmas 3 times on the way home today.
Beautiful.
My brain will be.
Did you watch
mush,
the video
but-
when you got home?
No, but I was like, they have other
story
songs
about
we
that,
should
right?
listen to, and they were like, we have no interest in those. Play that other song again. Fucking forgetful, man. So yeah, Treasy. How are you doing
Before we
tonight?
get in that, like, just listen to that story. Like, because you slipped up and told one part barely wrong, I'm always going to envision your sweet little daughter saying, "Put on some fucking Christmas music."
If she was alive, she would say that to him.
Instead of asking you to play Last Christmas.
Last Christmas, isn't that the video, Treasy, where they get absolutely smashed during
So
the filming
they
of it?
really got super drunk filming that. Yeah. So like it's them sitting around like just like at a table, and it's
Friends,
like they're just
right?
like goofing around with all the friends and stuff. But like apparently they were actually drinking, and like hours of filming turned into them just being absolutely blitzed filming this video, to the point where like they didn't remember like what was when they watched the video. They're like, I don't even remember this happening.
Dude, it just takes me right back to Bader Brow, to be honest. It really does. Like
The old annual meetings.
every afternoon that we had at Bader Brow was basically the same thing.
Ooh.
It starts off, and then all of a sudden we're in the fucking
We
whatever.
had some really good ideas that we didn't remember.
We don't even remember them.
Never got there.
Trezo, how are you doing tonight?
I've had an eventful week, guys. I almost ran someone over the other day.
Oh, God.
Then today, I find out that, did you guys know that Ronnie Cycli is like a professional DJ? Like big time DJ?
No.
And
No.
so
I
I
did not
didn't
know
know
that.
this, and I find that out, and then I also find
don't
out
believe
that my
it.
coworker actually saw him perform in Spain. I'm like, how is this even possible? And so I've got all these things that I was like, we could totally talk about all of these things, but all I want to talk about is Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. Like I cannot,
Me too.
I cannot like think about anything else. I've like yesterday I was going through the betting lines, and if you want to talk about this too, we'll just jump into it. We'll just go.
We'll
dive
go together.
feet
We'll go
first.
together. Let's do it.
Fucking
Yeah.
let's go.
Man,
I'm looking at the lines. Jake Paul was like minus 250 yesterday.
not anymore, is he?
And I messaged Beef, and I text Sammy P too, and I was like, I'm gonna have so much money on Jake Paul because the public money is gonna keep driving this shit down.
Yeah.
And looked at it today, he's at like minus 200. So many people are betting on Tyson that his line is going down and down and down, and all the big money is on Jake Paul. Like all the sharps are on like Jake Paul. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. I did just hear a little while ago someone say something I was thinking, which is like, with the rules of this fight and with the money on the line for Netflix to like keep this going into something else,
Yeah.
you got to look at the draw. And the draw is like plus
That too.
900. The draw is like plus
man.
900. And like it's
Yep.
if you're not familiar with this, the rules of this fight are different. They're different. So it's
Yeah.
only 8 rounds.
2-minute
The
rounds.
are only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're wearing like the bigger gloves than normal. So like they're heavier to swing with, but there's also more padding there. So like
Okay.
there's less impact. So like I'm like very tempted to throw down some money on the draw. Like Beef, what you're like, where are you at with this thing?
Bro, I mean, I've heard a lot of the stuff you've heard. And also I heard that most of the public money is on first round knockout for Mike. So it's not even just like Mike wins. There's so much on the prop for him to knock this motherfucker out in the first round. But for me personally, and I put a little video out there on Twitter, and I've been this way since July. I'm worried about the champ, man. The champ is 58 fucking years old. I love the champ. He was a champ when we were kids, tearing guys apart, doing absolutely crazy shit. He had an awesome goddamn video game. Since then, he went crazy. He went to jail. Then he was in The Hangover. He had his own cartoon, which was fucking hilarious. He did a one-man show. I need the champ in my life. I cannot go to a spot where he fights this dipshit, this fucking YouTube guy that used to be on Bizarre Vark when Bonita was little, and we watch her hit this dude and Olivia Rodrigo on the fucking goddamn teen bopper show. I can't have him ripping the champ and putting him down for the dirt nap. I am terrified. God, boys, talk me out of why I shouldn't be so scared that Mike Tyson's going to get seriously injured in this fight.
I can't talk you out of it because Jake Paul has fought legit people. Like he fought Anderson the Spider Silva, and that guy was probably one of the best MMA fighters ever. The only thing that was not going right for him is the fact that he was old as fuck. Like that's the one thing you can't do. Like you cannot be old as fuck. And plus, he was also he's a mixed martial art guy, so he couldn't do the things that you could do in mixed martial arts versus in a boxing match. Like he couldn't sweep his legs out and then like choke him out with his shin. Like you can't do that in boxing. But now you have a boxer versus another boxer. Well, Jake Paul, which was I've been hearing people say he's at least got some decent skills to get where he is. But I don't know. I think the Mike Tyson thing is going to be might get himself too tired, and you just don't have that same thing. But he is still looks strong as fuck, man. Looks strong as fuck.
Yeah, he does look strong. What
do you think, Chorizo?
So here's the thing. I think that Tyson will be fine, and here's why. I know Foreman was only like late 40s or something when he fought, but like. He looked old as fuck in there. But he mapped it out. You just stand. Do you make them come to you? Like, because what Jake Paul's probably going to do is probably going to try and run around, tire Mike out.
Yeah, sure.
Not absorb a lot of punches, especially in the first 2 rounds, right? But if he just runs around, that's fine. But Tyson's just got to be stand his ground and say, come to me. And until eventually... Either it's going to be the worst fucking fight of all time, and it's just going to be Jake Paul dancing around the ring, or he's going to eventually have too much hubris and go in to throw some punches at Mike, and then Mike just needs to get inside. And if Mike gets inside, you have a typewriter jaw.
Yeah, okay. I hear that. We haven't really seen Jake Paul take a punch. But Treasy, he's got the height advantage and he's got the reach advantage on Tyson very easily, right? I think he's got 5 inches of reach. He's got 3 inches in height. And he's a big boy. I mean, I don't know how much power Jake Paul really has. We know Tyson in his prime had like the biggest punch ever, right? Just like killing dudes in no time. And so I almost think that the smaller glove in the short term might work a little against the bigger glove might work a little against Tyson, but longer term you still get your ass beat with them puffy gloves anyway. It wasn't gonna matter that much, man.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of how Tyson goes about it. If Tyson gets too aggressive, and Paul's just like dancing around him and then throwing haymakers at him. Or keeping him far enough away. Like that was always the thing with Tyson, right? Like if you let Tyson get inside, you're murdered. But if you could keep him at a distance, and that's why like taller boxers did well against him.
Yeah,
like
that's why Buster Douglas whooped his ass.
You can live, right? You can live to fight another day. Yeah. But like that's why I said like he's got to kind of stay the course and just wait until he could get inside. And like I think if he does it like that, Beef, I think that it won't be as entertaining as I'd like.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be way less punches thrown. And if there's way less punches thrown, there's a lot more chance of getting some more footage of him up with his pigeons on his roof.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. The comments are ablaze right now. John Navas says he slapped Paul in the face. It was hilarious.
Just did,
when they did the kind of the way, and I saw that. He also says someone put $1 million on Paul to win. Jackie Treehorn says fade whoever Drake bets. Gordo says we need a Paul brothers versus Ramos brothers fight and not be.
Absolutely,
we're not fighters. We're lovers. We don't do that sort of thing. CJ says sultry Calvin Clyde ad whisper. Spoiler alert: Paul is paying poor Mike to take a dive. I sure as fuck hope not. I hope that is not the case. That that there's a dive in place. But Treasy, it is on Netflix. There is a possibility there. I have one more question for you guys though. About this. Go ahead.
Is this about the theory?
No. This is
what's the theory?
So that
That
our
they're-
guys,
yeah,
our guy
heard
Sam
this.
P
Go
was
ahead.
talking about this theory. So this has been batted
I
around.
want in on the thread that actually
The-
has the good info in it. That's what
the-
I need in on.
The idea is he said this on his show. You could have
Yeah,
watched
his
the
show was just airing a little while ago. I was listening
Listen,
to.
I ran
like
out of
this.
time.
Oh, he was
I
busy.
don't have enough time.
MSS busy. That's right. I forgot about that. Go ahead. Yeah.
not drinking is 101. That's it.
Holy shit!
But
I hate you guys.
But
honestly,
the theory
Guys can go fuck
MSS is that Tyson will win this fight,
okay, for a rematch.
but then Jake Paul will train for like another fight, and Tyson will be his trainer.
Oh,
And they'll film the whole thing on Netflix. Like they'll go like how like the HBO
like Rocky
thing where
V
like they
bullshit.
like with HBO where they do like the whole the whole training thing for like
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, and it's
wow.
so yeah.
Man, I
So I don't know who the Clubber Lang is, but like like I guess that's who he's gonna fight next.
maybe like
Maybe he'll fight
Rampage,
the actual Mr. T.
Rampage Jackson. Well, Rampage Jackson played Mr. T in the new A Team.
There we go.
Yeah, so like that would be fun, right?
Or he fights actual Michael B. Jordan. That's good too.
That would be fun too.
It's Rocky 5,000. No, my last question for you guys on this, a very serious question. How many ears you think Jake Paul will have after this fight, Treasy? 2, 1, or 0?
You know,
I'm gonna put this up as a Twitter poll because I was
that's
like,
mean, man.
look,
That's
the last
mean.
time Mike was serious, he was in there biting if he had to bite, and if things
Man.
go awry, Mike might have to resort to some stuff. You know,
it's what the only thing
You're horrible.
is I think the height advantage might make it difficult. It might be a nipple bite. It might be a nipple bite. 2 ears, so I'm going 2 ears, but he leaves with 1 nipple. That's where I'm going.
nipple. Holyfield was 6'2", so I don't think the height's going to bother him that much. Is it?
Mike is
get in there
shorter
when they
now.
wrap up.
Mike has
got
gotten shorter. Mike has gotten shorter. He's about 5'6" now.
What do you think? How many years? How many years can he leave it? 2, 1, or 0?
Both. I listen. Both of his years. Every freaking interview I've heard of Mike is like in such a better place now than he's ever been. So I like that he's.
What do you mean? He just had an interview with a TikToker where he was talking. They asked him what his legacy was. It's nothing. You turn into dirt and die, and no one will remember you or anything.
But I
that shit was
respect
just
that.
out there. I was like,
I
this is
respect
vintage Mike.
that.
He ain't on his best behavior. He's acting like a lunatic, just like I love him, bro. Like,
No, I agree with that. Maybe it's because I'm fucking depressed, but like I was looking into him and say that, and he's like, I don't believe in legacy. Legacy doesn't mean anything. That just means you're like
made up word.
It's a made up word, and it makes you're bragging or something. It's like what I feel like it's what you do. You got to remember, Mike Tyson lost a daughter. Like she hung herself like on a treadmill. When I mean that fucked.
But that was an
fucked
accident,
up,
right? But yeah, that
Yes.
was terrible. Yeah, and I remember that.
100%.
Yeah.
Like she was a baby and was running around doing some shit, and then it's something. It's a freak fucking accident, and then she. Yeah, I mean, it's just I think Mike has got a clearer head now than he like ever did before. But like it's just I don't know. I don't think he's gonna
Gordo
bite
says
anybody.
Tyson likes to eat mushrooms like a certain addict. We're not saying. We're just saying. Gordo, thank you for bringing that up.
I think weed has been really important in Mike's life, and that's why he sells all that bullshit too. But like seriously, like he it like fucking calms him the fuck down. That was I like it. I like it.
Treasy, should we get to one drink before we did we get to this
let's
one already?
do it.
Or
We did not.
didn't
We
get
did
there?
not. I was
okay,
waiting to get-
beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so our guy Husky Bardo, he says, "Cheers, fellas. Was hoping this was the real show, not the knockoff one on the Blue Sky app or Sky Blue or Sky Bright, whatever. Cheers, Husky."
Thank you, Bardo.
I call it the Banksky app because every time I look at it, I just see Banksky, but it's B Sky. I don't know. Makes sense to me. My drug-addled brain. So
I feel like you were telling me about B Sky performing at the Admiral. I feel like that was a conversation we had one time. I don't quite remember.
big fan.
But you know what, MSS? It's
You know what else
time.
I'm a fan of? Something that you all should be a fan of come November 18th. Introducing new house-made jumbo chicken wings and traditional wings from Lawrence's. The flavorful classic batter goes on not too thin, not too thick for a just right crunch. We aren't shrimping around on the size of our new chicken wings. Our new wings are big. Now serving up some of Chicago's favorite fried food from land and sea. Our wings are cooked fresh to order. Save some time and order ahead at chicagoshrimp.com or give us a call. Come see why Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp and Chicken has been serving up the food you crave since 1950. That's right. November 18th, this starts. Okay, so what is that? Well, if you're a numbers guy, today's the 14th. Friday's the 15th. So now we got to go. We got 3 more days. Okay, so that's Saturday.
That sounds like Monday to me, my friend.
Monday, yes, 3 days. So this coming Monday at all the locations, they will have the chicken wings. They're big wings. They have big party wings back. So you need to get over there, try them out. Call ahead. They take a little while because they're made to order. So you got to call ahead, order them online, go to chicagoshrimp.com, and you can order your fucking meal to go. Make it a combo. Get some fries and a Coke or a can. A can. It's not Coke, actually. It's actually fucking Pepsi or Mountain Dew. So
I love that.
I like the fountain soda myself, but like when you go in and you got to get a combo, they got to give you a can. I'm sorry.
Unless you get a Modelo.
Yeah.
You know, do that. Always nice. Modelo's always nice over there.
Baby.
But yeah, I guess get over there.
Guys, it's time for a little White Sox talk.
Oh, Lordy.
I look pretty good in that picture, I'll be honest.
No, we both look good.
But yeah, so we're going to do a good amount of White Sox
good.
talk, just a fair warning to everybody, but I think we're going to have some fun with it tonight. And
love it.
Be a good time.
The hot thing in the news right now is where's Garrett Crochet going to go? It feels more and more like he's going to be traded this offseason. Me and Beef just did a whole bunch of trades, and we want to talk a little bit about the Garrett Crochet trade value. And Beef, I'll hand it to you if you want to take it from here.
Yeah, sounds good. So I was kind of curious because I've seen a lot of shit out there on Twitter, and I've seen some outrageous expectations by White Sox fans. I'm like, I always think we're centered, we're even, we're drunk most of the time, and that's why we can kind of be the median. But more and more I've seen it, and I'm like, wait a minute, am I thinking about this wrong? Do people think Garrett Crochet in 2024 offseason is more valuable than Dylan Cease in the 2023 offseason? So I ran a poll on my own Twitter account, and it came out pretty close. But the majority, over 543 votes, believe yes, that current Garrett Crochet more valuable than last year's Dylan Cease. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, what you think about their prospective trade values. Treasy, I'd love for you to start. Do you think that the 2024 offseason Garrett Crochet is more valuable than 2023 offseason Dylan Cease?
I think yes, actually. In like when we were first doing the trades, I was going through it and I was going, I don't think they're going to get a lot for him. And like even so, we'll get to some of the trades in a little while, but like I was even like, maybe we got to throw something else in to really get a high prospect. But like the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm looking at the off season. There's not as many pitchers available as there were last year.
Right.
There's not another trade piece pitcher that's really obvious this year, like there was with Corbin Burns last year. And then the teams that you start reading about, there's a lot of teams that are going, well, we need to stay under the luxury tax, or we need to spend less this year. We're trying to dial it back. A lot of people are having trouble with their TV deals and things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are saving money for other players, right? But like with the free agent market the way it is, with the teams looking to spend less, add to it that Crochet's willing to sign an extension, and that he's coming off a really good year as opposed to Dylan Cease, who was coming off a not so good year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tracy, I looked it up
in
because,
the direction.
Yeah, I would say, look, just to add on to your, Dylan Cease was not coming off a very good year. I had forgotten, so I went and looked it up. 4.58 ERA for a Dylan Cease.
Yeah,
in 2023. He was not.
There was a lot
good.
of people saying that, like the Cy Young. I think you remember this. Like everyone was saying, like the Cy Young year was the abnormality. It was the
outlier.
It was the thing that won't happen again. The other stuff is just who Dylan Cease is. That was kind of the sell. With Crochet, there's not a big sample size of success.
No.
There's definitely some injury risk, right? Like with any hard throwing pitcher, and with a guy who has not been healthy in the major leagues or even in college, right? Like so, there's just such an unknown there. But I don't think that that's enough to outweigh all the other things I said.
Interesting. Go ahead, MSS. Yeah,
I think the favorability of the contract is the biggest thing. Like you're going to get a cheap guy, and as we noted in the last podcast, TJ McFarland is already off the board like immediately going into the next year. So like,
but it's effective guys are getting signed.
Pitching is going to be at a premium. So now this is a guy that's going to be cheap. He's controllable. Now, what he has over Garrett or what he has over Dylan Cease is he doesn't have those games where he came in and he was throwing a perfect strike one inning and then over the backstop the next inning. You know, like he doesn't have that track record. He wasn't pushed in there because the motherfucker was hurt. So you didn't get to see all the bad shit. Right. So this is almost like a perfect thing, right? Like he came out, he blew the fucking doors off this year, looked great, right? For what he did. You know, it wasn't, absolutely. I mean, listen, he had a shit record. We have a shitty team, 121 fucking losses. Right. I mean, you can't blame all his losses on him. I think he definitely wanted to get out of the system because he talked shit, you know, but with his agent putting the shit out there after he talked to Ketz, he wants to get moved. So I still think that this is he does have more value crazily than Dylan Cease because of some of the unknown shit. And it's weird to see other people that are like so latched on to the unknown shit, not just the White Sox fans, because we love unknown shit. So like it just when I initially saw the question, I was just like, no, there's no way he has more value because of this, and this. And then it's like, actually, no, because he's gone out and done what he's supposed to do. He does have more value. So, hey, man, fucking go out there and don't get fleeced, Getz.
Beef, before you scold us, let's get this drink from Trey. It says, hope all is well, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, Trey.
Appreciate you, Trey. Thank you, my friend. No, I'm not going to scold you guys at all because my initial thinking, I'm low man on Dylan Cease if there was ever a low man on Dylan Cease. We had Rick Giolito on this podcast 4 or 5 years ago, and I told him Dylan Cease couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He would never be good. He's a fucking reliever, all that shit. Rick Giolito undressed my ass and was totally right. Dylan Cease ended up being a very good starting pitcher. And obviously, makes sense, right? My thought process, though, and I hate that he has all the walks and all this shit.
Just real quick, he dressed you down. He didn't undress you.
Well, he wanted to, maybe he wanted to. You know, he's very friendly. He's a friendly guy. You know, I haven't DM'd him in a while. I gotta.
Montana might have like gotten into the undressing and beat him with a chain.
But my thinking the entire time, boys, was. If you look at Dylan Cease, so this is in 2021, 32 starts. In 2022, 32 starts. In 2023, 33 starts. He always answers the bell. And it's like that level of certainty when you're buying, I would think would be more interesting to the buyers, or it provides a level of safety for him, like a lower bound to what you're getting, as opposed to a guy who had never started before, had an awesome first half of the season, had a little bit of when they started pulling the innings down, he struggled for a little bit, Crochet. And then he kicked it into gear kind of at the very end, kind of before that season, but did get his 32 starts. I thought the difference there would be just like the things that you do know. But MSS brings up a great point. It reminds me of way back in I think it was 2018, when Nathan Eovaldi had that great playoffs for the Red Sox, and he had been hurt 17 years in a row, Treasy. And I saw someone put a projection out there that he's going to get 3-60 or whatever, and you and I were like, "That's insane. No, this guy's never healthy."
Who would do
that? And he did get it because the teams nowadays are just going to buy the skills, and then we'll see what happens. And I saw someone on Twitter talk about, and some of the biometrics will look at the player regardless of them being hurt and figure out, okay, based on the movements or whatever, are they at high risk for injury again? So that might even slim it down a little bit more, where people aren't that afraid. So I flipped over. I thought Cease was more valuable. I'm on the side of Crochet now, and that poll and all the discussion has moved me on the Crochet side. I got it.
Now, what I will say there is I think that he's going to be more valuable in the trade market, but I think that the way that shows itself is not necessarily you get such a better return than you did for Cease. I think it will show more in the top person in the trade. Teams will be willing to part with one of their top position players,
with a better guy,
which is very different than a lot of times what you see, right? A lot of times you'll see a pitcher be that top one, and it's they've got 5 pitchers that could all kind of top out at the same place, and they're sending you one of them. The position players is a lot different, and when you start looking through these orgs. Position players are hard to find. You look at a top 30, 25 of them can be pitchers. Like it's wild. Like you got to really pick through to find the position guys.
Yeah, and the composition of 40-mans are like that too, Treasy, where there's more pitchers than hitters. And that never happened until this very recent era. So it's an interesting thought process there. And I think that if it is like the way the trade reweights itself is maybe less volume, but about a higher end hitting prospect at the very top of it, people will love it way more than the Cease trade. They'll say it's, like multiples better just because the name value of whoever that is at the very top. I think that is going to kind of carry it maybe.
It's getting hot in here, guys.
Your butthole.
All right, Beef. Let's take a look, and we wanted to talk about this too. We're gonna take some of the trades that we did in the trades with every team, and we're gonna throw them at My Sock Summer, and see if we can pitch them on the deal.
Sell them on it. Yeah, that's right.
We got to sell it to them. So, Beef, I want you to pull up the first one. Is it you or me?
That is you. It's going to be St. Louis Cardinals for you.
Okay, so this is an interesting one, My Sock Summer, because a lot of people are predicting the Cardinals to sell this offseason. They think that, like, they've got some good players left on the team. They don't really see themselves doing a lot, so they want to cut payroll, and they want to get to build up the farm system. I don't believe it. I think they've got enough of a team right now. They've got enough good players, enough guys who are like towards the end of their career on one-year contracts type of thing. And their division, they look at their division and they go, if we add a little bit, we can win this division.
Okay.
And so that's where I'm coming from on this one. And and also, if they trade from some of the guys that are really near the pros, then they don't have to worry so much about eating into all their prospect capital. So what we're looking at here is Nolan Gorman, who plays second base. He's not a very good second baseman, but he can hit. And even in a down year last year, he had a nice amount of home runs. But this is the kind of guy get you 20 home runs at second base.
Okay.
Victor Scott.
I like that.
Victor Scott, think like Billy Hamilton style. Little difficulty getting to first base, but once he's on first base, he's scoring.
Okay.
Really good center fielder. And then the last two are hard thrower, kind of guys that you could lottery ticket reliever type guys.
Okay, so like mid relief and guys, no starting pitching here.
You're looking more Prelander Baroas, right? Like that's the kind of thing you're doing here, if I remember correctly on these two. But I'm pretty sure they're pretty high velocity guys. But the real trade is the two top guys, and these guys are ready for the major leagues. Gorman has already played in the pros. Victor Scott had a little bit of a look this year. Scott didn't look that good in the pros, so this is definitely a reclamation for him. But Gorman has shown that he could hit in the major leagues.
So he's fast. He can play center, but he could also probably play a mean right. But he can't hit. So
Scott's definitely a center fielder. That's where you're going to get the most value out of him.
Okay.
Remember, Luis Robert's not going to be on this team either.
We're getting rid of him too.
Well, I mean, he'll be here maybe when the season starts, but maybe not very long.
Right.
Okay. That,
I mean, initially, anytime you can get 4 players for one player, especially 2 that are there that are major league ready, even if they're not going to be that great. I listen. If a guy can hit 20 fucking home runs and play second base for us, that's great. That's a change, right? And I can take that. If we have a guy that can run in and run fast, that makes up too. Hopefully he doesn't jump around like that goofy white motherfucker that we had that got kicked off the team after the fact because he got called out and tagged out immediately upon his reentry into.
Yeah. That guy get a World Series ring or what?
I don't know who he ended up with.
Maybe.
He bounced around. He was on playoff teams.
That was a lot, man. He was just goofy, though. He was a goofy dude. And then I always love, because I'm a White Sox fan, I love the unknown guys and the scratch-off ticket guys at the end there at the right end.
All of these trades will have that. I don't want us to spoil it, but
I'm going to say 4 for 1. I like it. I like it. I like the way this looks, even though it looks extremely like it could fail, just like a 6-leg parlay on an NFL Sunday. It could fail easily too, but it could also blow up and be really good. So I don't mind it. I like it.
Beautiful. I love that breakdown. 4 for 1. He's making moves out there, Treasy. He's making thrift store moves right there. All right, I'm up next, and we're gonna talk about Uncle Stevie, New York Mets, and I'm gonna trade John Holmes. No, I'm gonna trade. It just looks like John Holmes. I'm gonna trade Garrett Crochet to the Mets for Ronnie Mauricio, who's a shortstop, Jesus Baez, who's probably a third baseman, and Ryan Clifford, who's left field first base. Mauricio first, MSS, a lot of power, big guy, but definitely a shortstop, probably 6'2", 6'3", 220. I mean, it's packing on a little bit. But think in his prime, you remember Jose Valentin in his prime?
Yeah.
He hit a lot of home runs and stuff. That kind of guy, basically.
Okay.
Doesn't maybe walk
but
as
that's
much.
short.
At shortstop. Yeah, I mean, Jose Valentin was a shortstop. And then Jose Baez is a third baseman. Again, there's some pop here. There's a lot of bat to ball. It's good defense at third. I heard the comp like Miguel Andujar. I don't know if you know who that is, but like with the fast hands and whatever. Absolutely. And then lastly, Ryan Clifford is basically a first baseman, lefty, probably a guy who will need a platoon partner, but a lot of power. 25 home runs a year at first, but can't play against lefties. Like he's gonna have to sit in 108 with us anytime there's a lefty on the mound because he should not have a fucking bat in his hands. Man. So these are my 3 guys for Garrett Crochet.
I like you being honest about the Ryan Clifford, but we got that at home already, right? Unless we get rid of.
Well, we don't got that many home runs. I'd say 20 to 25 home runs. We don't got that.
Oh, okay.
Who does that shit? No.
Well, yeah. I mean that's true. So we could get rid of our Andre Vaughn and we get rid of our Gavin Sheets. This guy can do the same thing, right? Like but actually hit home runs for us, which would be nice. And he would be expensive.
He would basically be what Gavin Sheets is supposed to be.
Okay.
what hoped he was be, but yeah,
right.
No.
Is he going to be expensive? Like are these guys going to be ridiculous?
These guys are all rookies. These guys are all rookies right now. Don't worry about it. They're not in the majors yet. These guys are in the minors. These guys they'll get apartments in Charlotte to start. And then maybe they'll come up here, during the year. That type of.
All right, so it's a long play.
Not that long.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that they're not major league ready. That doesn't make me happy. But I do like
Mauricio basically is.
He's close, yeah.
He's close, so I like that because that's home runs. We need home runs. We need some power, right? Yeah. We got plenty of guys that don't hit for power, so we need guys.
And he's a good shortstop.
And he's a good shortstop, which is important because we don't have that either. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, even though I don't like the Ryan Clifford guy. I don't know about the Clifford guy.
We're counting you out on this one. You don't like this one. I can just tell.
It's just hard.
I'm a little surprised.
He's out on that one. I like that John Carney says 4 for 1 is even better than 20 limes for $1. It was 20 limes for $2, but yeah, that's a good point. And then I missed that one. Timothy Maher, not a Perry, has a chiseled good looks of Jose Valentin. I just meant player profile. It's hard to. Who has that mustache?
Why did I think that Jose?
Who has that mustache?
I thought Jose played left field. My bad.
He's a shortstop. That's okay. That's
all
right.
Right.
Teresa, you're up next. I didn't sell it good. You're up next. You got the Padres deal now.
All right. So the Padres deal. Let me pull this up. MSS. This is what we call fresh talent. All right. And now we had to throw in Luis Robert because we want to get one of their top prospects. So there's 2 guys at the very top of the Padres org. One's a catcher, Ethan Salas. The other one is Leodalis de Vries. This guy is the hot new thing. He's like Nikki Free. So like
So like those early Mia Khalifa videos. Just think that perspective. Think about that. You know what I mean? That's where it's at. That's where we're at right now with that.
Think like young
fake titties. All right.
Young Gianna Michaels is what we're looking at.
There you go. That's that's what we're talking about here. Yeah.
And then
that's natural talent. That's natural fresh talent.
Right. And then you got Humberto Cruz, who's from Mexico, which is important. But he's a guy who's kind of moved up the ranks within their system. Not a hard thrower. Feels a lot like he'd be a good Bannister guy. But also a very well touted prospect here. And then Cobb Hightower, also very young. So all these guys are like 18. So Leodalis, Humberto, and Cobb, they're all like 18 years old. And they just drafted him. So he's He's fresh out of high school, but shortstop, second base type, but probably leaning towards second base. But if as we went through these trades, I was loading up on second base. Give me all the second base.
Exactly. Well, we don't got any, so it's
and then Johnny
Don't have
Brito.
one,
So
yeah.
Johnny Brito's like a guy who was like he was supposed to be a starter in like a couple different places. The Yankees had him. They were, he was definitely going to be a starter there. Didn't quite work out. A lot of injuries. Padres, same thing. Going to be a starter. Some injuries. He'll be coming back soon. So this is kind of the lottery ticket at the end. This is a guy we probably like pencil into the starting rotation if he's healthy to start the year.
Here's
These
my
guys,
problem.
They're young.
I know that's probably my biggest issue, that you're trading two proven talent, one an all-star, actually Crochet didn't make the all-star team this year, right? Or
he
did
did.
he?
No, he played.
He
He
did.
made the all-star team.
You're trading two all-stars for scratch-off lottery tickets, even though they might be really good ones.
No.
Right?
I don't think you can call DeVries a scratch-off lottery ticket.
Okay.
This guy is he's a top 50 prospect in the league. Like,
Yeah, I mean most plays he's top 20. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's way up
Okay,
there.
I mean, but still, it's a high level. It's an unproven talent. We don't know what it could be, right? Where was Makata? Where was Eloy? I mean, I'm sure they were top 20 prospects at one point, right?
Yeah,
Way
I
up
mean,
there. Yes, sir.
Mercado was
Yeah.
number one for a while.
And those guys sucked. They sucked. I mean,
Yeah,
for us,
there's other guys at the top that were really good.
I'm just saying, but I'm
So
just saying,
is your assumption, MSS, that everyone in the top 20 will be bad or no?
I don't know.
just asking that.
I don't believe that.
Okay, got
I
it.
just don't think that they all work out to the way that it's going to work out. I think you're putting a lot in this basket to give to them. That's a guarantee to like take the risk. I like the risks. Okay,
So
I like taking risks.
Let me ask you a question, because I think
It seems like too much for me.
I think I have this.
I like it, MSS. You tell
I
him.
have this problem with a lot of people talking about the trades. Is Luis Robert a sure thing? Because over the past 4 years, Luis Robert has played 63% of the games. Luis Robert just had a not very good year. It was all of his war this year is from defense.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of guys that could get you 1.5 WAR purely on defense that play in this league that are a lot cheaper than Luis Robert. Now, I know there's a ton of upside, but you got to be on the field to produce that upside.
Right? No, you're right.
And he has shown he's not shown that he can do that on a regular basis. I love Luis. I hope that he's on the Sox this year. Like, I hope that he stays with the Sox as long as possible. But I think that, like, we as Sox fans who have fallen in love with him, who have the La Pantera bobblehead right behind us, who have the chain, like, are overvaluing what he might be in a trade.
Okay. I mean,
MSS still. I think
Loaf?
he's still out on it. He seems like he's out on this
Loaf,
one.
he's tried to trick me by using the fresh talent.
He
brought
did,
up
yeah.
my faves.
He
brought
used
up
some
the
big
Gianna
words
Michaels.
that I noticed.
He didn't-
I looked in your eyes. You did not know what those
didn't
big words
say-
meant. He's trying to trick you here. You
did
can tell.
not
It's a
say-
good call.
You started out with the Mia Khalifa, and then he's like, no,
He
Gianna
tried to up it.
Michaels.
He went Gianna
Young
Michaels.
Gianna Michaels.
So I thought I had
He
him right there. You
knows-
know.
He knows that the MSS prefers the young Gianna Michaels, the young Sarah J. So he knows where what the buttons to push.
He went in the right
He's
alley,
probably trying to trick me. I feel
Yeah,
I
Umberto's like the young Sarah J. I mean, like, I don't know if I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned.
I just don't want her to turn into the poodle. So I like.
That's not fair. All right, that is not fair. What you're doing right now.
I still like this, but I don't know if I like Luis Robert being included too. But you make some compelling points. So I'm like 50-50 on this, but I'm going to have to say no deal on this.
All right.
He's out.
All right.
Let's get to these comments real quick. Timothy Maher says, I got my brake pad changing certification at DeVries. Absolutely right. John Nava says, Cobb Hightower, Sox player or porn star?
You know what's funny, John? When I so there's a thing that we use to pull in the links in those, like it pulls in for Baseball Reference. It didn't pull up for Cobb Hightower, so maybe I did just write in a porn star. Like, maybe the guy's not a baseball player. Who knows? Who's gonna check it? Who's editing?
No one knows who that is anyway. Tadito says, "I love this trade based on the names alone." And
they are good
Timothy
names.
Mouse, this is the Matt Gates special. All of them straight out.
Oh my god.
I'm getting way the fun.
Oh,
Jackie
shit.
Trion says the turkey's talking. No, I thought MSS did a good job analyzing that one. God
I
damn,
actually
man.
think I think MSS was spot on in that, to be honest.
He did a good job.
To me, that was a trade where I was like, I wrote it up and I was like, I don't know if I do this. Like I was very conflicted. Like,
But you're compelling with the the real thing. I don't know.
But is that how
know.
you felt though, MSS? Where you're like, this has value, but I'm very conflicted giving up.
Yes.
Like these guys I love.
The one guy that we can sell tickets, we're giving up. Listen, they made 4
The one guy someone might show up to
year.
watch.
They made 4 bobbleheads last year, I think. They made one of Fisk, one of Frank Thomas, one of Garrett Crochet, and one of Luis Robert. Like, you're trading away the only marketable players that we have on the team.
There were 2 Luis bobbleheads this year, right? Because there was like the regular Luis that they did, and then there was the
Panther.
The Panther.
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about it, there was an
guy.
Andrew Benintendi that they gave away to 50 check-in people too. So
a
they
non-real
did do
Luis, but kind of a
did him,
Luis,
but still, it's just like it's a lot.
I got to get me one of those Benintendis. I'm a big fan.
I was just going to pull that up. The 108 tourney champ is in the comments. Manny
What's up,
Spagnuolo
Jay?
says, "Hi,
Manny.
guys,
How's
miss
it
you."
going?
Manny,
Cheers, champ.
good to see you. Cheers.
What's
We're here
up,
every
Luke?
Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, by the way.
The Loop Champ. We'll call her the Loop Champ. They call it the Maddie now, right? It's the Maddie. Yeah, I love that.
Takes
That
these
was
great
fun.
pictures, talks about how much he loves the loop, and then everyone piles on her. I don't understand. I like the loop too.
I
did when I was your
Fuck
age. I'm
you.
old now. I don't go down to the loop that much anymore. But
It's nice and chill now, probably.
I will say,
that's cool.
I'm more than happy to jump on people on Twitter for saying dumb stuff. I had no problem with what Maddie said.
No.
Me either. Yeah, me either. What's wrong?
It's like, this person's
is
being
cool.
honest. This person who lives in the middle of the city is being honest that they
I like
haven't
the city.
explored the whole city yet. Yeah.
Oh,
What a jerk.
All right, let's close this out. Last trade. My Sox Summer. I'm putting the heat on you one more time. Boston Red Sox.
I like it.
I'm sending Garrett Crochet there for Christian Campbell, who popped this last year. And MLB Pipeline had Christian Campbell top 10. We'll see where Christian Campbell comes, but definitely probably top 50 hitter in baseball prospects. The power's there, the walks are there, the speed is there, all that shit on the offensive side.
Okay.
On the defensive side, it's not great, MSS. Despite all the speed and all that shit, the second base is kind of bad. The shortstop's real bad. It might be a left fielder. We'll see what it is. Up next is the person they call the password. We'll call him John Garcia, but they call him the password.
Wait a second.
Say that name.
Wait a second. We give MSS so much shit
Yeah, say
about
that
not
name.
being able to say marinara or other things. you got to try. You got to try and say it. You got to try and say it.
It's Justin Nixon.
There we go.
That's my best.
right,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly
you're
right.
right.
But the password, right field profile, MSS, a lot of power.
Okay.
Really charging up the ranks. And then Mikey Romero, basically a second baseman, 5'8", shorter guy, surprising pop. 3 hitters in the top 15, basically, of the Red Sox prospect list. But Christian Campbell is really the prize of this, is actually a real good one. So, what do you think? How dare you guys?
So okay,
Fit as
so
a
I'm looking
fiddle.
at this and I like it. I like this, and this was probably like I don't know. It's hitting all the spots. It's all the places we need, right? We need a second base short, right? There's 2 of them. We need an outfielder. We got them. Okay, we have these guys that we need. What?
Let's not get carried away with we're getting a second baseman or shortstop in this deal. We might be getting one
Mikey
second
Romero.
baseman.
All
Well,
of them
and-
play the ball. Is what I'm seeing.
Campbell hits, all right? Just don't worry about where
I
it
get
comes.
it. I get it.
Campbell hit somewhere. Okay, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
well, if we can put can we put Campbell in the outfield? Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
listen, giving a right fielder that can hit and like play right field as well as Gavin Sheets does, I'll be fucking happy. Okay, it's better. It's right. This seems better. So listen. It doesn't seem as crazy because there's not a second player added on the Sox end, so that makes me happy. 3 for 1.
Yes.
Makes me happy.
Treasy baited water for me. I love it.
I'm gonna go with this one. I say that I like this trade. This trade will work for me. It seems I'm not adverse to risk, but I think the risk here is worth it. So let's do it. Let's try it.
Beautiful. Love it. So
I did this. That was my favorite trade.
Great takes, my MSS. That was my favorite too.
That was my favorite trade. Yeah, I think that's the one that I would want to do the most. But thinking about that trade, thinking about the ones we just showed, and thinking about the other teams that would be interested in a Garrett Crochet, we're gonna go around the horn here, and we're gonna take our best guess at who will trade for Garrett Crochet. And Beef, I'm going to start with you. You've been asking the questions. I want to ask you this question. Where is Crochet going?
Before I offer up my answer, I would like anyone in the comments who on the YouTube stream, go ahead and put where you think Garrett Crochet is going. I'll keep track of these, and whoever is right, you'll get a special prize from us 108ers. We were talking about it before the show. We'll make sure we get some stuff over to you, so I will keep track of it. So make sure you answer in the comments and be ready there. Boys, for me, like this whole deal, I have thought about this high and low. Initially I was off of the Orioles, but then I sort of got back in on the Orioles because it seemed like they might have some interest in doing this. I'm totally off the Dodgers. I don't think the Dodgers are going to give you like. I want DePaula from the Dodgers. Everyone's talking Dalton Rushing. I don't want Dalton Rushing. Fuck Dalton Rushing. The Yankees are sniffing around Phillies. I'm sorry. I just don't. Phillies might really go hard and get in there. Whatever. My real two teams, and we just did them, are the Mets and Red Sox. To me, I would love it to be the Mets because I think Uncle Stevie has the balls to really go for it. He'll spend and he'll trade. But in my heart, I know it's the Red Sox. So I'm going to say Red Sox is where Garrett Crochet ends up.
How much anxiety will people in White Sox Twitter have sending Crochet exactly where we sent Sale?
So much. Flashbacks. Fucking flashbacks.
Like, they're going to hate everyone that comes over. They're going to be like, this guy's going to be a fucking bust.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to be a bum, just like Bum Carter.
Exactly. You've been watching it, though. You've been watching it with every time. Like, when Chris Getz started the managerial hire thing, they're like, nope, they're going to take it away from him. It's going to be some goof or whatever. Then you get down to the end, and it's basically, you could tell these are kind of guys that he chose. And Phil Nevin was the little bit older one, and everyone's like, no, Phil Nevin's being pushed on him. He doesn't want Phil Nevin, especially after you saw him MSS. You saw him outside on 35th Street. Everyone's like, oh, the Sox are fucked. They're not going to. And they ended up getting a guy who's a reasonable choice for manager that other teams wanted, a young guy, a talented guy, right? I don't know if it'll work.
Weird hair. But
we have a lot of this trauma built up. So if it's Red Sox, it's going to be endless on Twitter, but I think that's the best fit, and they got the prospects that I really like. And maybe they get lucky and get one of those high-end guys. Like Anthony or Mayer, like they get one of them guys, like it really could be something. But I think it's be Red Sox.
Okay, I like that. I like the looking at what you could get from the Red Sox. It's enticing. It's definitely enticing. Yeah. So like I think that's a nice trade partner. I would go with it. MSS, where are you going? Who do you think it's gonna be?
Red Sox are definitely like on my list too, right? Not at the top though, like this guy. I don't know. I don't think, because here's what is intriguing about Garrett Crochet is that Garrett Crochet is cheap enough that he can go to the top teams or he can go to the bottom teams. He could just as easily play for the Brewers or the Pirates, depending on how this all shakes out, right? If they trade some capital and get it for him, you can see it. So it's just going to depend on a lot of farm teams, but I'm not going to any of those places. I'm going to one place and one place only, and that is the New York Yankees. Those motherfuckers need another pitcher, and it's just going to happen. They have so much money. It's like betting against the Chiefs. You can't bet against the Chiefs. They're going to fucking find a way to win. The Yankees are going to find a way to buy the player that they need, even if they only need to use him for a little bit. I would go with the Dodgers as the second, but I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be the Yankees. Is going to look great in pinstripes in navy blue and white, and he just will. And he'll blow the doors off out there too. You got Rodon over there, probably talking to somebody. I like it, but Loaf, I also like the Bannister talking to the people at the Red Sox about Garrett Crochet too, to sell him up, and I think that could happen easily too, but I'm going with the Yankees just because I have to do that.
Teresa, where's your mind at, baby? Where are you feeling?
Bud?
Where are you feeling?
So I'm going a little different way. I'm going a little different way than
Okay.
the teams that you've been hearing about, the teams that you've been thinking about. When we were doing this beef, I had fun with the one of the trades because I was like, it's an old friend, but it makes sense looking at what the team's trying to do, and that's the Rangers. So the Rangers are looking to cut payroll. They're trying to stay under the tax. Now they just lost Eovaldi. Eovaldi opted out, and they're talking about how like they really want to bring him back.
Yeah.
But that money, they don't want to spend that money.
Yep.
So they need a guy. DeGrom's coming back from injury. You don't know what you're going to get. John Gray is John Gray. And then you're going to try and put Kumar Rocker right in there, and you got holes in that rotation. This is the only way you fill that rotation with someone really good, because they can't do it through free agency if they're going to try and nickel and dime this offseason. So the Rangers are the team that I'm looking at, and you got to get Sebastian Walcott. But like after that, I think you could go lower prospects, because Will Venable will have a beat on who these guys are and who he likes. Mm-hmm. So you could get deeper into their prospect ranks and pick and choose some guys out that Will feels comfortable with and that he can give you the inside track on. So to me, it's a good trade partner from the Sox side. From the Rangers side, it makes sense to try and get Garrett Crochet. Will they be willing to trade with a guy who
has to be in the deal?
Who knows that Venable is in there, telling them who's good, who's not. Like they could get worked on this. But yeah, if you look at the prospect list, it's got to be Walcott. Like, and he's not far. He's in Double A. Like he's 2 years away, maybe so
not even.
So yeah, I think it's a good fit. It works if the Rangers are actually going to try and win this year, which I can't imagine they're not. They got a lot of money on the line. It feels right to me.
I love it. It's a little bit off the board. That's funny. Couple quick points. My guy Ken W.O., I cut this promo where we talked about we're going to talk about this, and he responded. He said, Orioles, because now you got Ryan Fuller in house. He knows those hitters better than anyone, and your picks are going to be more accurate if you do that. So that is an interesting perspective and thought. I don't know if the Orioles will really barrel. They haven't yet with their prospects. They made that one trade for Burns, but Burns only had 1 year left, and it wasn't as big of a cost. Secondarily, I'm surprised no one put Cubs. The Cubs got a ton of hitting prospects,
but
and
no one wants
a great fit.
No one wants that to happen.
But it's
that's
a weird
what it is.
thing, right? What it is. He's going to be on the other side of town and like killing, and you don't want to watch that. That's kind of what it is, and vice versa. The Cubs fans don't want to watch their prospects come up and absolutely crush on the south side. So there is a little sensitivity to that, but I'm surprised we didn't get there with those. But yeah, exactly. John will add it to the repertoire, right?
Well, and he's gets his like best buds with Hoyer over there. So like you're like, hey, maybe they're talking that big ball bastard.
Never knows.
I'd vomit every time he pitched if they were pitching for the Cubs.
Starting to play off.
You know what? Though he could go over there and like as the pitchers before him, like Jose Quintana went over there, sucked. Who was your buddy? Cody Hua. He went over there, sucked.
Well, his arm exploded. I mean, it wasn't so much that he was bad. It was just his elbow just went like a popcorn went ball like that.
It's something in the pressure over there at the Wrigley Field on the north side. It fucks you up. You're too high above sea level or something. I don't know what it means.
High above sea level.
Okay. Yeah, the mountains of the north side of Chicago.
Yes. Takes a while to get up there, man. You ever been through the loop? Shit, man, that's a trek.
Yeah, it's like a fucking roller coaster. You go through the loop and it just goes straight up into the air. 1 mile.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No wonder the
clearly you've been there, so you know what's going on. Jesus.
Fucking mushrooms. God.
You know what we forgot?
Wrigley Field is it's like fucking Dracula's castle on top of a mountain.
Or the fucking Psycho House. I don't know. It's up there, okay? It's up there. Don't worry about it.
Feels like it's time to pay some bills.
It is time to pay some bills, but I wanted to throw this out there. We forgot to say it, so we'll do it again next week. Buy a fucking Nashville shirt during the show, and one of you guys might win for free. And if you already bought one, you're already included into buying it. So if we sell any shirts during the remainder of this show, which could easily be another hour, somebody will win one and get one for free. So just remember that. We should have announced that earlier, but here's your regularly scheduled ad.
This season, don't be a turkey. Drive a Mazda. At Mazda of Orland Park, we believe that life's too short for ordinary rides. Only a turkey wouldn't drive a Mazda. Join the ranks of satisfied customers who have experienced the thrill of driving a Mazda. With our advanced safety features, sleek designs, and unmatched performance, you'll never want to drive anything else. Come see us at 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. Call 708-444-3200 or visit our website to schedule a test drive. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom.
Hey, one quick caveat here. I am picking up a rental car tomorrow from Enterprise Rental Car. Okay, the guy was talking about what kind of car I wanted. I said I wanted a mid-size SUV. He said all these names, and all I heard was Mazda. And I said, give me the Mazda. And he goes, sir, can I ask you why you want a Mazda? And I go, because they are a sponsor of my White Sox podcast. He's like, that's dope. I go, so not only will I get a free rental car, but I also get some content out of it. So please, tomorrow morning, everyone pray for me and hope buy a Nashville shirt and hope that My Sox Summer gets a Mazda when he rolls up to Enterprise. Like maybe what
kind of Mazda?
A CX or hopefully it's a 5 CX5.
CX5? Okay,
yeah.
Not a Miata. I feel like I'd like you in a Miata.
Shakalaka! I gotta put all those kids in the back seat, even the ones I forget. So we gotta make sure that there's enough room.
Top down, beautiful.
Kids will fly out, no problem.
I borrow Jack's if I need that.
Well, it's time for a little more White Sox talk. We're gonna do a little more White Sox talk here.
Yeah,
it's a great picture.
It's awesome.
It's a really great picture.
Almost looks fake.
We're bringing it back, guys. We're bringing it back.
What are we bringing back?
Oh, the horny meter.
Yes,
the horny meter is back.
I feel like the horny meter needs like an animated introduction. No,
I don't know.
We'll work on that.
I think it's just sexy on its own, man. Just put it out there. It's
bare
pure
bones.
sex.
We could use the drop from Apocalypse Now.
If you would please take us through the horny meter.
Goddamn right. We're going to start off with an old friend of Chicago, but not necessarily an old friend of the White Sox. And this group that we're going through today is going to be position player free agents that the White Sox could potentially get. So these are realistic. These are guys in the price range, and we're gonna get through this, boys. We're gonna get through this, as horny or not as we might be about these.
Oh my God!
So number one, just finished he was just in the World Series.
Just in the World Series.
Anthony Rizzo. Treasy, why don't you start? How horny are you for Anthony Rizzo?
This is like a bang to get back at somebody. Like, man, like this is their high school sweetheart, and now like they're kind of like haggard and over the hill. But you're just doing it in hopes that something happens, they find out, and they're crushed by it. Like that's all you're trying to do right now. That's like this is a pure hatred of somebody totally outside of this little happening that you're trying to get under their skin by doing this banging. So that's where I'm at with this one.
Wow. I like it.
Yeah, no, that's
I mean that's dirtball shit, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. MSS, you're next.
So what I always have a theme, is I've told you guys, and I don't know if I've used this one before. I don't think I have, but it's like where I'd like to take them to lunch if I'm trying to get some afternoon delight. So, that's where I'm going to take them.
Who will be the Bennigans?
We're getting there very
There's
close.
nothing that brings the internet together like being a bunch of horny little freaks.
By the way, we just sold a couple Nashville shirts, so that you guys are eligible to win a free
possibly,
one. Now listen,
possibly a free shirt.
far right one, that is a woman's shirt. Be the first one to buy a woman's shirt. That'd be awesome. But the other two are
even you
men's,
fellas.
the same shirts that we're going. Buy one for your girlfriend, whatever. 108.ing/merch. You get over there, buy yourself a shirt. Now, where am I taking Anthony Rizzo to fucking lunch? The guy that gives cancer to children. I mean, he had cancer with his children. I don't know. I'm using my reward points at more than dogs to take him to lunch. That's how horny I am for this guy. I don't give a fuck.
That's pretty good.
It's probably not. It might happen or it might not happen, but I'm not going to make it sway. Like, I'm not going to sway it by fucking giving him a nice meal. Like, I don't even care, because guess what? We have two other guys that do exactly what he does and hit less home runs, or hit more home runs than he does. I don't need Anthony Rizzo there. I don't need a veteran presence from this guy. I mean, he's good and all, but I think he's cooked, and I think his brain got scrambled and he got all fucked up. So I'm done. I'm out on him. I might fuck him, but I don't like him. I don't like him.
He was concussed, so I agree with the MSS. His brain may be scrambled. I'm not sure.
Beef, hold on.
He's a little scrambled.
He's
cooked and scrambled. Just like I like my eggs.
Let's just play this back.
Okay.
Mike Tyson is the most normal he's been in years.
He is.
However,
But Anthony Rizzo's brain is scrambled.
I'm talking from a purely
Perfect.
athletic venue, like thing. I'm saying Mike in general is better than he's ever been. Rizzo doesn't have it all together to play sports anymore. I think he should just be out of there. I don't like it.
My God.
Brutal.
Sorry.
All right. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. We leave our horny
like
feelings out here. That's what we do during this time.
I don't like him.
For me, Anthony Rizzo, this is a case basically of all your friends were enamored with this chick, back in her prime. She was nice and tight and filled out in all the right spots.
Nice and tight.
And now she's haggard,
loose as fuck.
and she's finally in your wheelhouse. So, but you know what it is? There's a major defect here. It could be multiple personality situation. It could be a major booze or gambling problem. Could be some fucked up kids out of wedlock. Oh. Truthfully, in Anthony Rizzo's case, the real problem is his fucked up hand. And I know he's got a broken hand or whatever. But that motherfucker played on defense in the playoffs like he had Jason Pierre-Paul's fucking fireworks hand, all right? And that, for me, untenable situation. I can't get in there when you got only three. When it went three, and in the good luck meme, the Jason Pierre-Paul, 3 fingers. That's what it looks like. This motherfucker was an embarrassment on defense in the playoffs. So out on this. God, I can't even come close. It's not the brain. It's the hoof. It's the JPP firework hand. You've seen it.
I can't believe there's a firework hand.
Actually, there's no thumb on the firework hand. I don't think it's this.
So close it's so close to the Dodgers fan becoming.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's a new one,
and you're gonna throw that out there. We're all still reeling from that.
He's like, dude, don't you throw that at me? And he's like, okay, I'll hold it. And then he blew his fingers off. And then the one dude's like, dude, you're bleeding. He's like, oh.
He went to shake it out, and there was nothing left to shake. There was he went to shake it, but there was nothing there, so it didn't matter.
Oh shit, where are my fingers? Oh yeah, it's no good.
He gone.
They gone.
All right. Next up,
that's good.
Is a familiar name, but not someone's ever played for either team in Chicago. Is Jock Peterson. So my suck summer. How horny are you for Jock Peterson?
Listen, originally, I'm like, I am not horny for this guy whatsoever. And then I went over to fucking Baseball Reference, which I don't donate money to, only Wikipedia. Okay. And I looked up his fucking WAR. His WAR is not bad. Like, he's actually the best out of all the guys that you named in this free agent thing. This is the best. He's like 3.6. It's positive. We're like, whoa, okay.
You actually played good.
Like, okay, so did he hit any home runs? Is this all defensive shit? No, he hit home runs. He hit 24 home runs last year, or 20 home runs, or 22. I don't know. 20. So I was just like, actually not as bad. So you know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do, Loaf and Chirizi. I'm going to take him over to Lawrence's from those brand new fucking parties.
Now I know you're
18th of November. So, I'm going to be like, I'm going to take you over there. Now, listen. Does the MSS get a discount at Lawrence's? Abso-fucking-lutely. So I'm not going too crazy, but like I'm stepping it up. It's a step up, right?
I like that.
So I like Jack. I like the way that Jack originally totally turned off. I'm like, The guy that
like the cut of his
slapped
jib.
him played there last year. Okay, I don't necessarily want the guy that got bitch slapped to be there, but he's actually still got a little in the tank, and he's a little chubby. So let's throw him out.
I knew he was gonna throw that in at the end.
Yeah.
The chubby helped. The chubby definitely helped.
He's chubby. I like
chubby to get MSS chubbed up.
Chubby Jack.
Treasy, how horny are you for Jack Peterson?
Oh no,
Beef, you've been waiting for this ever since you laid eyes on her a decade ago in the bar. And now it's a decade later. And while it ain't that good anymore, it's still good enough for just one night. So, 1-year contract.
Love it.
yes, prove it. 1 year prove it.
We're quite horny for that.
Prove it. You'll be proving it a lot in the beginning. Hello. Love it, Treasy.
What about you, Loaf?
Here's where I'm at with Jack. You were so close to getting this one in the past. And then your idiot friend, White Sox Dave, blurted out something, and it didn't happen. Now you have a second chance.
You know he's got a girlfriend, right? And you're like,
And even though your friend, Tommy Pham, said this is a real bitch, you're still down to give it a test drive. So all of that talking, you're still willing to get in there. And that's where I'm at with Jack Peterson. For the points MSS brings up, guy hits home runs, he hits tanks.
Does.
We need fucking tanks. Let's get some goddamn tanks in here.
yep.
Tadito, I'd take Jack Peterson to Sibbers. I bet you would.
Who would?
And John Carney, I think this is in relation to Jason Pierre-Paul. He says he's also one of the Van Buren boys, allegedly.
I believe it.
That's a step too far. I'm sorry. All right. Next up on the horny meter is Danny fucking Burgers. Daniel Vogelbach. Boys, I'm going to go first on this one.
You do that.
Because I feel that I'm the expert in this
Yeah, because you're a burger guy.
arena.
Triple
Look,
guy.
You guys, everyone in the comments, whatever, you guys know I like fat chicks, all right? Chubby chaser is kind of what the vernacular I think that they call these days. You know, and I am a chubby chaser, but there are limits to how far the chubby chaser will go. And in fact, Danny Vogelbach is a little too thick for my taste. When the thickness starts
ridiculous.
Starts to trend into they might smell. I'm not saying they do smell. I'm saying when they look like they might smell, you got to bail. You got to get out on this. And can you just imagine all the flesh rubbing together all day and getting all lathered? I'm out. I cannot do a Daniel Vogt. Too chubby. Okay, I'm a chubby, but that's too chubby. There's a limit to there's an upper bound to this, and I'm out.
Beef. I think we were going the same way on this. I think we had the same thought.
Yes.
But let me tell you what I wrote. What I wrote down. I wrote, if you turn out all the lights, you could pretend that that's Michael Conforto's strong left hand.
That's a pull from our teenage years right there. The author of that one's so good. Good fucking man.
I didn't want to name drop him, but you know where I went.
I know where you went with that. Great story. My Sox Summer, where are you at on Daniel Vogelbach?
So I had to Google him because I didn't know who he was initially. And then when I saw who it was, I was like, oh, yes. I was so excited. I was like, my 1-0 thick king. You know, I remember Sano. Like, I love that guy. Like, I want the big guys. He is 6 foot. Allegedly, he is 6 foot.
No way.
270. Okay.
Also, no way.
I'm 6'4", 280. Okay, and I'm fat. That's fat.
Not like him. Not like this guy. No,
I love it.
That's a lot, right? Like, so you're excited.
He's different levels of thickness than you are.
So, hold on. Let's be real for a second. We get Daniel Vogelbach. Vogelbach could be on this team for nothing.
Of course, yeah.
Vogelbach, Elko, platoon.
Come on. Oh my God.
Come on. How are you out on that?
You know how bad they'd be too. Like,
I don't care.
Watching a half season of them not hit nothing would be hilarious.
Loaf. We just went through like a really, really awful to watch season, right? Would it be at least a little more entertaining seeing fat guys try to hit home runs?
It would. It would. I'm not anti-fat guy. I just told you that fat guy, too fat for my taste. A little too fat for my taste.
All right.
Just saying.
Tadahito asks, who smells worse, Vogelbach or Rowdy Tellez? Rowdy Tellez to me is a regular fat guy. Vogelbach is a smelly fat guy. Just from the looks. He might smell great. I have no idea. I've never got right in there with him. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess.
Rowdy Tellez smells great.
I'm sure he does.
I've never met him, but I could tell you that he does.
So with Vogelbach, I'll say this: his numbers aren't that impressive. There's not a lot going on there.
You are on this list.
It's just not. It doesn't do anything for me. But it's. I'll take a flyer. So we're going to White Castle and we're splitting a Crave case. And I think if there's anybody in this list that could probably polish off a Crave case with me, it's him. And definitely because he is 4 to 6 inches shorter than me, but also weighs exactly the same. So yeah, we could do some damage.
I actually would love to see that. Like
I mean, listen.
I mean, if we step our game up a little bit, that we should do some shit like that with some active players or whatever. Just look, I know this. I know you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to hang out with people like us or associate with us. Let's go eat a Crave case.
We should reach out to Vogelbach and be like, look, we're gonna try and get the attention of the White Sox here.
Treasy, let me ask you a question, and I'll ask the commenters too. If you bought an antenna and you're watching, or you bought the streaming service from CHSN, would you rather watch some guy try to catch a fucking crappie fish on a fucking boat, or would you rather watch me and fucking Vogelbach down a Crave case while we're just talking baseball and bullshitting for 30 minutes?
This has nothing to do with
a
the channel.
no-brainer.
MSS. I would want to watch that more than anything.
You got like insane.
The finale of Breaking Bad's on? No, I'm gonna watch this motherfucker house a Crave case.
Yeah, we'll just talk about. We're like, hey, yo, how many pickles do you think you could eat? And then we'll just start eating pickles to see what happens.
Well, let's. Now we're getting back into the horny meter. All right,
I could just smell how bad he, with how fat. No, I'm out on that. I could smell it through the TV. Not you, MSS. You smell good, but him, he's too stinky. No, too tinky there. That's I can't.
I'm in though.
Next up is Paul DeYoung.
That's good, Jackie.
Now, my Sox Summer, I'm gonna have you go first with Paul DeYoung. How horny are you for Paul DeYoung?
So this is hard, right? Because we had him, right? Then he left, but it was a good thing, right? Like he had to go out and explore, and he gone out and he spread his legs.
I didn't know we were going to get that graphic. We were doing good.
So no,
now you killed Treasy's officially dead. It could be the pre-mixed margarita, or it could be that what you just said.
I'm gonna say it's probably not my joke, but like yes, I didn't even do that. That's what makes it the funniest. He spread his wings. And he is maybe come back. I don't know. I'm not as horny as I was last year, right? Like I really was horny last year.
Oh,
right?
You sure were.
And then he came through. So there ain't no reason for him not to come through again if we bring him back. I like some of these trade proposals though with Garrett Crochet. So I don't know. Like I would like to make another one. I'd like to see another one happen because I don't think the comeback is as great as the up. Like he rose up and he did good. So I don't think like coming back and trying to recreate that again. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, but it just would be, yes, it's real rough. But
the turkey is talking.
I still like my man, Paul. So I'm taking him over to our friends, our buds, the Aju sponsor, Punkies.
Yes.
We're down in Panzerotti.
Wow, you're still very horny for him.
They're going to eat Panzerotti from each end.
Each side.
Yes. And then they have the cheese, the gooey cheese in the middle.
We're going to Lady in the Trampet, and then we're going to see what happens after. Hell yeah, bro.
Well, we know what's going to happen. You alluded to it earlier.
Now, Treasy, I'm going to jump you in the line right here. I'm going to go ahead of you.
Go for it, baby.
On this one. Because my horniness is venturing into a weird section of horniness with Paul DeYoung.
Interesting.
And it's really going into a revenge porn type horniness against My Sock Summer. And here's why. Let me explain the situation here, because we know how horny My Sock Summer was for Paul DeYoung last year, and he still has those feelings for him right now. And my horniness is almost against My Sock Summer because of this. Because My Sock Summer is very much a wing it guy, fly by the seat of his pants, just judge things however they go, right? Except for one time, he said, I'm going to look into this Paul DeYoung guy. I'm going to think about this. Treasy mentioned all this. And then we went to Barstool, and he talked to Chuck Nason. And Chuck Nason was like, man, Paul DeYoung hits the ball as fucking hard and far as Pete Alonso. The guy got to be on roids. And MSS gathered all this information. He did a good job thinking through it. And he said, I'm a Paul DeYoung guy. And he was fucking right. And so
right.
here's the deal. I don't want MSS to lose his personal ethos and think, well, if I actually do the work and research stuff, I can get a lot of things right, because that's not how he lives his life. So revenge porn. I want Paul DeYoung to come here. I'm so horny for it. For Paul DeYoung to come here and fucking suck so bad. So then we'll forget that MSS was right about that, and he'll stop working hard at this stuff. MSS, I'm sorry, baby, but we need to do this for you. It's for our relationship, not theirs.
You're getting beat up in the comments, Beef, because you ain't sent out those gift cards yet.
Yeah. No, I'm writing personal notes to everyone, so I got to finish those up. I apologize.
MSS, I heard.
No, I'm writing personal notes to everybody. Yeah.
MSS, I heard he didn't have time.
I'm writing personal notes. Yeah.
You know what? I'm ready to go out there, but because I'm saying it out loud, it won't happen. But the Nashville White Sox shirt will get shipped before those Punkies gift cards get shipped.
Fuck out of here.
Treasy,
how horny are you for Paul DeYoung?
I have here, oh God, it's 4 a.m. and I guess it's this or nothing again.
Whoa. That's disrespectful.
That's honesty right there, baby. That's what that is.
There's no
just
question.
pure honesty.
18 home runs.
If they go back to the well, yeah, he had like 128. Like if they go back to the well,
222,
and two of those don't become home runs, he's a fucking terrible player. So like, he can't field anymore. He got a few lucky home runs, and he's not good.
Here we go.
God damn it! You stop. First off, hold on. Give me a second here.
Tell him MSS.
I'm gonna get mad at you, because I swear to Christ, he probably is still top 3 home runs on this fucking White Sox.
Oh,
on the White Sox team. Yeah, on the team that lost 121 games. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's number 3. Okay. So, and he didn't even play.
You know what? That's fucking embarrassing if you're a power hitter and you're number 3 on the team.
He's been playing the last 2 months.
He has 4 more home runs than Luis Robert Jr., who was a corner piece in a trade.
That's a guy you won't trade, Luis.
Well, I'm just saying, he had a bad year last year.
Too heavy.
Anyway, I that's disrespectful, and it's disrespectful the way that you talk. Now, listen, is he cooked in the field? Possibly. All right, I
definitely.
Okay, I understand that, but like maybe we can DA too.
Definitely, he's definitely cooked. All I'm saying is like we got. You know what it's like? It's like Johnny Cueto.
We did get a lot out of him.
We got lucky and got the good year out of the guy.
You bring him back.
We got the best possible result out of Paul DeYoung.
Yeah, that's
true. You can't bring him back and try and get that again.
I know, but sometimes, man, like it's like, why do you get back with the girl that dumped you?
The
like,
best
sometimes
result.
You just go back because you're like, oh, maybe it'll be different this time, and then it ain't different. It ain't different at all.
But you're willing to try, is what it is.
Yeah, you have to try.
The best result here was 4:30 a.m. at Spectrum. You had just drank a whole bottle of Jim Beam, and you bang this girl. You don't go back the next week and do it again.
Spectrum.
I prefer the ugly room at I prefer the ugly room at Beaumont's too easy. Fuck Spectrum.
I got it's the I got kicked out of Dugan's. Now I got to go to Spectrum. That's what it is.
Fucking Greektown bullshit. Get out of here. So, all right, last one. We'll tee up the last one for you. We'll start with Treasy E.
Oh God, this is brutal.
Treasy E, how horny are you for James McCann?
What I have written here is our time together was beautiful. Let's not ruin it trying to have a reminisce fuck.
Tracks.
It's a pretty good job right there. My Sock Summer, how about you? How horny are you for James McCann?
Initially, I'm like, absolutely fucking not. Okay, like there's no way we don't bring this guy back. I've been reading Orioles blogs. He's the one that cost the Orioles all these things. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, we can't do this. Then I go to Baseball Reference, which I don't support, and he has a positive WAR and a WAR that's better than the two catching prospects or the catchers that we have are going to be on our team next year, Chucky and Corey. Like he's better than those guys. Like they're not good,
but still better. Right?
You're correct, Chirizi. But these are the things that we have to discuss in this fucking where we're at.
Okay? We're not going to spend any money. MSS is right in his thought process. Let's incrementally make this less terrible.
Okay. So then I started thinking, okay, well maybe we need to go with this. Like I don't know, because what we have is awful. Maybe we can go get something that's a little bit less awful. So I'm taking James McCann to McDonald's for the dollar menu, like the $1, $2, or $3 menu. Okay, and if he's excited,
1, 2, and 3 though.
Okay.
That's right. 1, 2, and 3.
Where is the triple cheeseburger on one of those menus?
Because I have the app, he can get the daily double for 2 for $5, which is the top notch double cheeseburger. Give you the lettuce and the tomato and the onion. It is nice. It's very nice, and they put the mayo on there. I know you don't like mayo, but it's good. So yeah, I'll take McCann for the dollar menu, because you don't get anything for $1 at McDonald's anymore. No, it's 1, 2, or 3. So like he can do at least 2 to 3 items on there. Maybe I'll get a combo, like a meal, and then he can have some of my fries and drink a little bit of my Coke.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
it's a cozy day.
Like, if you're listening to this and you're like, MSS is taking him to McDonald's, he must not really like him. Wrong. He said he was going to let him use one of the deals on his app. Yeah, MSS giving away an app deal. That's basically you're part of his. That's like that. So I think like you're a little at that point. You're a little bit more in on this one than you're making it out.
But he's not. Yeah, no, it's low key. Trees. Yeah, I agree 100% with you.
It's still not good. Potentially, I won't eat there. I'll go somewhere else. But like, I'll allow him to use my food.
You eat by yourself. You got a couple comments here. Tony,
I'm going to go somewhere good.
Tracy summed that one up perfectly. And then Baloney says, shout out Beaumont's. I was waiting to see if anyone knew about Beaumont's. Apparently not too many of you do. All right. For me, James McCann, this is the second time around. And as Tracy mentioned, the last time, it was great. And you realize maybe you didn't appreciate the person as much as you should have last time. Now there's a little more age on them, but you're still looking to rekindle some of that old magic. For old time's sake. You might even buy some chocolate covered strawberries or roses for no reason, just to remind them how good the booty was before. So that's how in I am on a James McCann. I kind of agree with MSS, because I think you're looking at this person to be the one that fills in until they're ready for Edgar Carroll. And then Edgar Carroll's backup caddy mentor, because they'll send Corey Lee to fuck to the minors or maybe just keep him on the roster. But they could use a veteran catcher in here to help out with these young catchers, because they don't really got that. And so I'm in on this. I looked at it. I laughed at first when I put it on the list, and then I thought about it more. I think I'm in with James McCann. I can't believe it.
Fuck both of you guys.
I think I'm in.
And boys, that was the horny meter. I love doing the horny meter. God damn it!
What a beautiful moment we all share with each other for the horny meter. But speaking of beautiful moments, I think it's about time now for thank yous and GFYs. I'm gonna go to Beeflo first. Who are you thinking of GFYing?
Boys, I'm gonna say R.I.P. to the late great cat of Keith Hernandez, Haji. Passed away at 22 years old. As a fellow cat dad, losing those fur babies are tough. I love these legendary cats, these internet cats that have been out there forever. I haven't been this sad about an internet animal loss since Stray Leota passed away in 2020. Rest easy. Rest in power, Haji. Be good.
Beef on top. I agree totally. What about Herb Street's dog, too? That was brutal.
Yeah, his dog Ben passing away. What was
crazy
cute?
seeing all of the pictures of that dog with all these different people, all the
Yes.
different dogs, like with Uggo and stuff.
Yeah, with all the other dogs was cool. It
Yeah.
was, just such a huge profile. And then what's funny is I saw, like, it's obviously a very sad thing. Kirk Herbstreit brings another one of his dogs. I think his dog's name's Pete or whatever. Brings the other dog out, a younger dog, one of the pups, out to the show. And I saw someone comment. There's a little video of the pup like walking around the set there on game day, and it's like, this pup right here is like, Ben told me about all these cool places they go, and I never believed it. Now I get to be here, and wow, it's just as cool as he told me. I was like, this is like the cutest thing ever. This young dog is getting to experience some of this shit. So yeah, I mean, a tough week for pets. They don't live long enough for most of us that own them.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Hopefully Frankie lives to at least November 21st, but when I return him to Josh Nelson. So let's just
Got
like
7
keep
days.
that,
Got
let's
7
keep
days.
that going. Like he seems to be doing great over there listening to Real White Sox podcasting. So let's keep it going.
MSS, who are you thinking of GFY?
Actually, boys, I don't know if this is legal, but I sold my thank you to the Chicago White Sox because they're allowing us to give away 5 plans of their holiday flex pack. So happy holidays, White Sox fans. Starting at just $66, you can get a White Sox holiday pack redeemable for more than 50 games throughout the 2025 season. So if you want to learn more and purchase one, visit whitesox.com/holiday packs. And folks, we're going to give away 5 of those.
5? Okay.
We're giving away 5 of them.
Nice.
But you can go over there and buy one now. But it starts at $66, and that's the upper deck. And I don't want to tell you this, but like, you can buy upper deck seats and probably still sit in a 108. It ain't gonna be that fucking.
Probably.
It ain't gonna be that fun. Don't tell him. Yeah. So please.
It's very likely.
Please don't bring that up. But you can cheat the fucking man. Cheat the fucking man. Even though they bought this, like, you can still cheat them. Just get the upper decks and just come on. Fucking Beefloaf will buy you a beer. Trees you too, because they just won like $87,000.
Oh! IRS don't know nothing. All right,
That's
just take it
Vegas
easy.
But also, we had a few people buy some shirts, so we are definitely giving away one of these Nashville White Sox shirts to somebody that has bought one so far. So if you have already bought one, go through 108.ing/merch. Go over there, buy your favorite. The blue is fucking kick ass, man. I mean, that's the one that the My Sox Summer really likes. Even though I'm gonna look like a gigantic cloud walking around in that thing. No big deal.
You're gonna look especially fat in that. I can't wait.
For sure. Chorizo. Who are you thinking of GF Lion?
So I'm going to think the guy that saw the lady walk right in front of my car and then give me a dirty look that I was slamming on my brakes to not hit her when I had a absolutely dead green light and she just walked right in front. I slammed on it. She looked at me like I was an asshole. And then just continued to walk slowly. And I looked over at this other guy, and I can't tell if the look that he gave me was, I can't believe that shit either. Or if the look was, go ahead and run her over. I'm not a snitch. Either way, I appreciate that guy. Thank you, buddy. Everyone else, have a great night. Talk to you soon.